Good morning, fellow Dominicans. Good morning to all. It's a pleasure being here this morning. To begin with, the government of Dominica, the Ministry of Tourism and Urban Renewal, the Discover Dominica Authority, the Dominica Festivals Commission would like to send our deepest condolences and sympathizes with you who have lost family and friends and loved ones. We also feel for the people of Dominica who have lost their livelihoods and their properties. We also empathize with our tourism stakeholders who have suffered loss to property and their businesses after so many years of hard work. Many of you would have insured your properties against natural disasters and business interruption, while some may have self-insured. On that fateful day of September 18, 2017, Dominica, our Garden of Eden, the nature island of the Caribbean, after being spared from the impacts of Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Jose, was ravaged by Hurricane Maria. And for the time being, the Garden of Eden ceases to be. What was expected to reach us as a Category 3 hurricane in the span of 3 hours went from a Category 3 to a Category 5. The winds howled for about 6 hours throughout the night, and what we saw at daylight was unbelievable. The nature island and its thousand shades of green were no longer. Mother Nature had played the meanest trick on the island, stripped her of her identity. 90% of houses and buildings lost some or part of their roof, and many suffered additional damage. Debris such as galvanized windows, doors, trees, cars, mud, and dirt was littered everywhere. However, almost 1 month after the passage of Maria, the Garden of Eden is beginning to show signs of life. Light shades of green and leaves forming again. And even our endemic parrot, the Cicero and the Jaco, have been seen. With the assistance of donors and aid agencies, the people of Dominica and the government of Dominica, we have led efforts to clear the island of debris and to begin the assessment of infrastructure and damages to the destination. As a nation, we were taken by surprise as to the sheer force of what we faced during Hurricane Maria. While our preparation as it relates to infrastructural damage could not have been changed, we are continuing to analyze the many lessons learned and have started to put measures in place for the future. We have been confronted with storms and hurricanes in the past, but nothing like this. Ladies and gentlemen, global warming is real. The depletion of the ozone layer increases the sea temperature, which is like adding fuel to fire. That being said, the hurricane season, I think, will no longer be looked at in the minds of some as it has been over the last few decades. Based on our recent experience, mentally, we will be ready and always be prepared for the worst. The following is quoted from a preliminary assessment report from the Dominica Tourism Association and Hotel Association. The tourism private sector will need the assurance that there will be a tourism industry for rebuilding. Unless this is assured, owners will not want to continue these long-term large-scale investments. We need to understand where the government will be meeting our needs. I want to assure the tourism stakeholders that the government is fully committed towards the tourism sector. And we have shown this commitment over the last 3 years by investing significant sums towards the marketing of our beautiful island and the investment in training, which has been reaping positive rewards. We have also implemented the low-interest loan facility for property upgrades in the amount of $15 million. The industry was built by you over the last years with your investments, which has created many jobs, increased foreign exchange, and provided you, the stakeholders, with a positive way of life. We will continue to advocate on your behalf and will meet with you this Friday to listen and share the plans for the tourism industry over the next 12 to 15 months. The Honorable Prime Minister has given his commitment to assist. However, this must be done once the full picture of the total cost of damages has been established. But there will have to be full accountability and transparency with regards to this request. So obviously, if someone was insured and they've received some funds, won't have to know exactly what they received, what their shortfalls are, what cash they're going to raise themselves, and then see how the government can assist at that time. With regard to architecture and construction, I can say we have the expertise in Dominica and the diaspora. However, what is truly critical is the adherence to the building codes. We can no longer cut corners to save or use contractors who cut corners to increase their profits. Obviously, we have seen many of these examples exposed by Maria. So obviously, many times the house was covered, you had no idea what was there, but now that the roofs are exposed, you realize that there were lots of shortcuts taken, which caused increased damage. In addition to that, the Cabinet of Ministers have approved the removal of duty and VAT on building materials, which should significantly reduce the cost of rebuilding for a period of 6 months. The government also, since Tropical Storm Erica, has a fast-track mechanism for approving duty-free concessions for businesses, inclusive of the tourism sector. Training of staff continues to be high on our agenda, and we look forward to partnering with you and invest more in this area. With regards to our sites, the Ministry of Tourism has started the process of reviewing the sites, and many of them have sustained significant damage. And the intention is to ensure that all of our marquee sites are dealt with very quickly and urgently, so that we can bring Dominica to a state of readiness. We won't be 100% ready, but we also have to ensure that we can begin welcoming visitors to our island once we have the necessary places in place, necessary facilities in place. Persons can go to the site safely. Our roads are all cleared. As we know, most of our roads are partially cleared. However, we have to totally clear them so that when persons come to Dominica, they will feel safe and secure. Some of our marquee sites will be obviously the Emerald Pool, the Trafalgar Falls, Tito Gorge, and Champagne Reef. So those sites that persons always come to and always talk about, we have to ensure that they're in a state of readiness very soon. The Discover Dominica Authority has also been visiting the various hotels, again, to ensure their state of readiness. And my team leaders here will also explain and provide more details in those areas. In terms of access, Douglas Charles, all the airports are functional and are open to commercial business. Our seaports, the ferry terminal is now open. The commercial cargo port is now open. The only port I know that has been compromised, which will affect the cruise, is the cruise pier in Roseau. Obviously, we have to ensure that work is done on this so that we can be ready for the January 2018. With regards to the storm, at present, due to the impact of Hurricane Storm Maria, the staging of the World Creole Music Festival will not be possible due to the damage of room stock for artists and patrons, as well as the damage to the Windsor Park Stadium. The Prime Minister alluded to this on Monday, the 16th of October, and therefore we will be putting in place a following plan. So all the artists will be informed. I think they've been informed already, but it will be officially done. With regards to tickets, we are asking persons to donate the funds to a worthy cause if you can. There are many persons in Dominica, as you walk around, as you move around, who have no homes, who have no jobs, especially as some persons have laid off. So we're hoping that some persons will take it upon themselves to donate some of those funds to a particular charity. Mr. Val Coffey will also explain the process for those who are not willing to but those who are unable to make that donation, the process that has to be followed in order to get a refund. The government has also taken a no objection position to relief concerts being held in the Caribbean to raise funds for Dominica. And as we speak, there are 3 events in the making. 2 of them have been confirmed. One is Caribbean Strong in Antigua on October 29th. This is done with the government of Antigua, Lisa McCool of Lava Songs, and Marshall Montano. We want to say thank you to all of them who have come forward to assist Dominica in our time of need. There's no better feeling than knowing that you have brothers and sisters out there who care about you, and just their mere presence being in Dominica to support you makes a big difference. There'll also be I Am Live Aid concert in Barbados on October 29th. And there's also the possibility of a solidarity concert in Guadeloupe, and the date of that is to be determined soon. So we really want to thank all the persons out there for the tremendous support in our greatest time of need. In terms of Carnival 2018, our DFC head, Mr. Val Coffey, will talk more about that, but it's a time for us to start the process to welcome persons back into Dominica, and we ask all our diasporan friends to bring as many friends and family persons as possible. In terms again of the cruise sector, this is also a very important sector, and as I said before, we have to ensure that we are ready for the season. But it's very important that we cannot open our doors fully before we are truly ready. We have to ensure that the experience that persons have when they come to Dominica is a memorable one. We obviously will begin to shift our focus for the next couple of months to move towards volunteer tourism, where persons can come and do things that will positively impact Dominica. We want to encourage our diaspora friends to come back to Dominica, come and help your families, bring back supplies for your families if you have to, and also tourism for a cause. An example of tourism for a cause would be, we know that our rainforests have been severely impacted. Come back to Dominica, we will put things in place with the forestry department to allow you to build, to replant, or help us replant, so you can have an important part of helping us rebuild our forest. Come and plant 1,000 trees, take a picture, we can tag your image, tag your photo to it, and in 5 years time you can come back and see how tall your tree has grown. But all of these things will help to bring back economic activity, increase foreign exchange, help us with our room stock once the hotels are back in place. I really want to thank my team leaders and all the staff of the Ministry of Tourism, the Discover Dominica Authority, the Festivals Commission, and even the team who are on the streets cleaning up. I want to say thank you very much for all that you have done. Many persons, practically all of us, have been impacted. However, they were still able to put that aside, make time, and continue to clean. Even today, the guys have been cleaning every single day, and that takes a lot. So I really want to say thank you to all the staff, to all the team leaders for all the work that has been done. I want to remind persons in the city of Rosa especially, we need your assistance in terms of the cleaning of the city. We need persons to put out all of their garbage, all of their rubble. Because every day you clean and you look at the street at the end of the day and you say, wow, it's wonderful, it's much better than before. You come back the following day and you see galvanized, and it happens day over day. So we are really appealing to everyone, before Friday, get all of your garbage out, so that when we clean a final time, all of this stuff can be out. We don't want all the large equipment to leave the city and go to deal with other areas, and then we have that problem. So we're urging everyone, bring out your garbage, bring out your galvanized, bring out your mud, to ensure that it is done. So if you look at the bayfront, it's clean today. Tomorrow you see mud and you realize, where has that mud come from? So persons are cleaning at their own pace, but we need persons to speed up the pace and get everything out of the city. So again, I just want to thank all the staff, all the managers, all the donors who have come to Dominica and have done a lot to assist us. I want to assure the tourism stakeholders that, and the people of Dominica, that the government of Dominica is committed towards you and your businesses, and will do all in our power to assist you in terms of moving Dominica forward. I want to say that we have done this before. We have had those issues before. Obviously today it's a much grander scale, but we have been able to take care of the areas and clean them and get back to a certain stage. So we've done it before, we can do it again. Let us keep on working. It's a long, drawn out, let's call it a marathon. We can't try to run too quickly. If you run too quickly, you will burn out. So let us take our time. Let us be pointed. Let us be focused and move Dominica forward. Let us move tourism forward. And I look forward to seeing the tourism stakeholders on Friday. We'll have 2 different sessions, again, to ensure that all persons can be dealt with and we can listen to you. And we look forward to you coming with your solutions to how we can move things forward. Thank you very much.